Hello and welcome to Bala Lake for a weekend of multi-sport action. This is the Bala Big Bash, which will climax with round 3 of the Welsh Triathlon Super Series. We've got 2 days of sport based around Llyn Tegid, the National Open Water Swimming Championships, some rowing and triathlons for all ages. Our focus will be on the country's best triathletes as they compete for honours and points over the sprint distance. 1 hour of all-out action. After 2 weeks on the coast, we're now surrounded by mountains. Our backdrop is Arran Ben Llyn, one of the highest peaks in Wales. Alex Matchett cleaned up in the 2018 series, winning 6 out of 6, and he coasted to victory here in Bala. '19, though, is proving a little bit tougher. With more work, less training and virtually no racing, he had to settle for second in Llanelli behind national duathlon champion Liam Lloyd. Matchett knows exactly what he's got to do, and he's the sort of man who relishes a challenge.
It's up to me now to pick up my game for the rest of the races.
Before he got a chance to do that, there was the Steelman Triathlon in Port Talbot, an Olympic distance event. Matchett sat that one out, while Liam Lloyd snatched his second win of the season to strengthen his position in the series. 4 races to count from the 6.
Starting the series with 2 wins is, more than I can ask for. Really pleased with the start of the season.
The defending champion must find his 2018 form and more if he's going to challenge this year. Hannah Monday has been the star of the women's series so far, wins at both Llanelli and Port Talbot, coming off the back of a brilliant swim on both occasions. 20-year-old Florence Swan is part of the National Youth Academy and excelled in her first Olympic distance event. Ever-youthful Rhian Roxburgh has shown she's still got what it takes and will be on familiar ground here with Team GOG Triathlon. With the top 60 scoring points in every race, there's plenty of focus on the team competition. Pembrokeshire led after round 1, but after a good showing at Port Talbot, Celtic Tri now lead the way. The defending champions Cardiff have got a lot of work to do, but watch out for GOG Triathlon. They come from Llandudno and should be able to crawl up the leaderboard today. An individual win in any category gives 100 points to the team, so there's a little extra motivation for the elite should they need it. With Hannah Monday out injured, there's an opportunity for Rhian Roxburgh and Florence Swan to close the gap. They had a really tight race in the Steelman Triathlon. Swan looked great and held second for much of the race, but then faded in the closing stages. After that, this sprint will hold no fear.
I was a bit disappointed with Tara to come in 4th. I guess that's a bittersweet position, but I think the shorter swim definitely plays into my hand. I'm just going to go race hard, just fill out all the way through.
I'm hoping to have a better swim and be up with them a little bit more on the swim coming out. Probably the bike, I would say, is my strongest element. It's a nice flat course, it's out and back, and that's the type of course I like.
Megan McDonald is over from Loughborough for her first race of the season. She's a good junior, was a brilliant duathlete and a fantastic swimmer.
Just go from the off, hard swim, hard bike, put my head down. It's a bit different for me because it's non-drafting, so we'll see how we get on and then see what's left in the run legs when I'm after being on my own on the bike, so it'll be a good race.
In the men's, last year's champion and this year's leader go head-to-head again. Matchett versus Lloyd.
Liam's a really strong athlete. Look, it will take an incredible performance to try and beat him. I'll be looking to hang in there as long as I can, and when it comes down to the run, seeing whose day it is.
You know, looking forward to racing Matchett again. He'll be firing on all cylinders to try and get a win. I think it's going to come down to the run, and I think that's where I'm hoping that I can put down the hammer and see if I can hopefully be in contention for another win.
Just a slight improvement in form and some faster transitions could put Sam Wade in the running for the title.
Usually my strength is the run, but in the last race I couldn't get my helmet off, so I lost 30 seconds coming out of T2. So if I can get my helmet off this time, then I think I've got a really good shot to going for the win, definitely.
So here we go for the Bala sprint distance triathlon. It's a 400-metre swim. It's been cut from 750 because of the windy conditions, and that won't please the likes of Bo Smith, but there are one or two in there who know that that plays into their hands. 20-kilometre bike, a 5K run to finish, and so crucial to get a good start position. Some very, very quick swimmers in there. Bo Smith always fancies his chances of being first out of the water. One thing for sure is he never holds back on stage one, feeling it's his chance to get an advantage over the rest of the field, and he's had a good start.
Try and get a lead on the swim and push on ahead that way. I wasn't able to get much of a lead at Llanelli, which made it quite a close competitive race on the bike, which was interesting, a bit tactical, but yeah, I'll be trying to use my strength in the water.
Well, no one was going to get a huge lead on a 400-metre swim, but it's Jack Southam that has shown everyone else how to do it. He's going to be the first out of the water and into T1. He's only 16 years old, hasn't got a huge amount of experience, but that's a real boost for him. Bo Smith is there as well. Alex Matchett up in the leading group. We've got Kieran John, who's had a good swim. Sam Wade not far behind. And Liam Lloyd, in fact, Lloyd and Wade losing a few valuable seconds to that leading group. Megan McDonald, that is a sensational swim for her. Remember, she's come across from Loughborough, and that will give the likes of Florence Swan and Roxburgh something to think about. And I can tell you what, McDonald is no slouch on the bike. Away goes Matchett with the orange flashes on his suit. There's Liam Lloyd. Now, never rushes out of T1, but my goodness, does he put the pedal down hard in the early stages. Bo Smith has got pole position, just what he wanted, coming out of the water. Now he's got to capitalise, make the rest work to catch him. Southam, a look over the shoulder, still needs to get that right foot into his shoe, and just showing his lack of experience, but he's someone to watch for the future. Sam Wade goes through. There's Liam Lloyd, already starting to put the power down and closing the gap on the race leader. Now, normally, Lloyd goes past the leader, then settles down and waits for the next fastest rider to hitch a lift with. Alex Matchett at the back of that leading group, racing intelligently as always. McDonald is away. Florence Swan now needs to make the chase.
Number to the right, please, Middleton.
Middleton, who's been steady all the way through the series. 6 races in the series, and there is Roxburgh, who is hoping that she can get her hands on the title this year. If she's going to do that, she needs to get a win either here or in the Snowman, which is the next big event. An out and back course on the bike, 10 kilometres out, 10 back. Beautiful scenery. It's an undulating course, 1 or 2 quite tight corners. Sam Wade with his calf warmers on. He's looked impressive this year, getting better every time out, and it'll be interesting to see what he can do should he be with the leaders coming into T2, and should he be able to get that helmet off. Cannot afford to waste time getting through that second transition.
My swim on my bike is sort of fairly solid. I think in the last race I biked well. I didn't have the best swim, but I biked well and sort of biked to the front of the field. So it's quite nice to come back this weekend and try and go for another podium spot and get a really solid sort of halfway point in the series.
Well, it's an encouraging start by Sam Wade. He's in that leading group. He's got some pretty talented company. Matchett is there, Liam Lloyd. There is Lloyd, the series leader. 2 wins under his belt already, trying to make it a hat-trick today. And his running has been so good this year that he'll be happy if he just stays with the leading cyclists.
It's a decent course. It's not too challenging in the bike. You know, it's a little bit undulating, but you can carry your speed, you know, through the hills.
But he goes for the super aerodynamic position as they head west. Roxburgh came out of T1 in 4th. She's made it up into 3rd position, about to go 2nd with Florence Swan on her left-hand side. This will be a test for Swan. It's Megan McDonald who leads the women's event, Minnie Mac as she's known, and has looked very powerful so far. By my calculation, she's a minute clear, but we have a real contest in the women's event. McDonald, Roxburgh, Middleton, Swan, all looking good. Welcome back to Bala. This is round 3 of the Welsh Triathlon Super Series, an absolutely critical race in the battle for positions in the table. A windy day meant a shortened swim for the elite event. Megan McDonald came out best. She hasn't looked back, a lead of just about a minute on the rest of the women's field, and she's travelled across from Loughborough to take on the likes of Rhian Roxburgh, who's certainly in the running for the title this year if she can stay consistent. Sam Wade setting the pace in the men's event, confident with his riding, confident with his running as well. He's going to have a real test because Liam Lloyd has shown himself to be the man who's most fleet of foot. Alex Matchett, last year's series winner, just being overtaken there, but he'll stick in, stay with the front group. The idea is to get to T2 having expended as little energy as possible. But if you're taking on the likes of Matchett and Lloyd, you do need some sort of an advantage going into the run. Lloyd cornering well, straight past Sam Wade, who will drop back to 12 metres, then take advantage of whatever slipstream is left. And I can't see him losing his position in that leading group of 4. Bo Smith still going well. He's done his share of the leading. Wasn't first out of the water today. Jack Southam with a brilliant swim, but Smith is always up there. Doesn't hold back. Approaching T2 and vying for position. A non-drafting event, which is why you have those gaps between the riders. There's the transition area, both for T1 and T2. And it's not just about the elite. Yesterday, everyone, all ages, involved in the triathlon here. TriStars is a series that puts on a number of different races, different lengths for those of varying abilities. And so good to see the kids involved. This is where the seeds are sown, the enthusiasm grows. Some too tired to smile, others happy with the day's work. And I think you have to credit all the families that get the kids involved. It's a big commitment, not just in time, but the equipment needed. But some real talent on show in the early stages. Good team relay event as well. Now, normally in a relay, each member does a different discipline. In this one, they all do everything. Everyone swims, then everyone bikes, and everyone runs. Just the way it should be. Sam Wade, he's certainly bidding for glory here today. Can he take on the big noises, the likes of Alex Matchett, who's looking for his first win of the season? And Bo Smith would love to get on the podium as well. So Sam Wade still has work to do. Smith looks relaxed, generally sat at the back of this leading group, and looks very, very comfortable indeed. But has he got the leg speed? From the first 2 outings, you would say no. No one has managed to match the man in red. Liam Lloyd He's capable of running 15 minutes for the 5 kilometre after the swim and the bike, and even Matchett struggling to stay with that pace, but we're expecting to see Matchett improve. He's come off a long shift of work and that can't help. So back into the transition area, everyone bunched together. A leading group of 4 have never been separated by more than 20 metres at any stage of the race so far. This is where the breaks are likely to come. Will Lloyd go out hard? Is it Matchett who's going to set the pace? Those are the 2 fastest runners, no doubt about it. Wade, though, always in interviews saying that he's confident about his run. Well, that's a much better transition from Wade, and Matchett, who's usually the slickest through the changeover area, finds himself at the back of the group. Smith is first, Wade 2, Liam Lloyd in 3, and Matchett starting to make ground from the back of the group. Well, what a situation. This is the first time we've had this number of athletes involved at the front of the field going into the final stage. Smith being shown a bit of respect at the moment. Sam Wade blocking the progress of Matchett, and Lloyd, I think they'll just wait for a bit of space before they make their move.
It'll be a really tough race and really sort of fast from the start. Liam and Alex are really good runners, so it could come down to a run race, so I'm sort of aware that, you know, it'll be tough to beat them.
From 4, we're down to 3. Bo Smith has been dropped with a pace set by Wade. Lloyd looks comfortable. Matchett on the far side, and Matchett, who's had less training, less racing, and he knows exactly what he's up against in Liam Lloyd.
He's a great swimmer, he's a great biker, and he's a really strong runner. That's why he's leading the series, that's why he's had so many wins this season. But you never know how it's going to go on the day, and that's my plan, is just to see how it goes on the run.
Well, Matchett certainly having his best race of the season so far, and he just puts the pedal down a little bit, cruises past Sam Wade, whose shoulders tighten as a result. Lloyd will not hang on for long in 3rd place. Well, what a battle. Not quite the same situation in the women's race. Megan McDonald has looked comfortable, gained 50 seconds on the rest of the field in the swim, and she's so far producing the fastest splits on the run. Roxburgh unable to haul in McDonald, but Roxburgh looking for a top 3. Now this is the battle for the men's, and they're into the closing stages now. Matchett has accelerated, looking for home. The first test that Lloyd has had so far this season.
I think it's going to come down to the run, and I think that's where I'm hoping that I can, stretch my legs out, and last kilometres of the run I'm hoping to put down the hammer.
Just over 500 metres to go, and we're down to 2. Matchett lengthening that stride, but here comes Liam Lloyd. Look at that burst of pace. Oh, he made that look so easy. Liam Lloyd into the front, and now it's Matchett who will suffer psychologically. Can he hang on? No, the form has gone already. That beautiful rhythm that we saw so often last year has deserted him. Absolutely no doubt. He's not catching Lloyd now. Lloyd just pulling clear. But he left it for the last 500 metres. Breaks to his right, down towards the transition and the finish. 3 out of 3 for Liam Lloyd. Sensational racing so far this year. He is a huge, huge talent from Llanelli. Will he be one of the great names in Welsh triathlon in the future with that sort of running form? We suspect so. 300 points out of 300. Matchett, runner-up yet again. The man who dominated the series last year is having to fight for glory this year, and it's not quite come off as yet. But good to see him out there making a race of it. Sam Wade, he's on the podium. That's what he wanted, but he's got work to do if he wants to catch the 2 leaders. Great race. That's just what we like to see.
Alex was really pushing that 5k, and I wasn't sure at one point I was going to stay with him. I kicked it about a mile to go. It did get a little bit of a gap in it. It started to hurt, and as it does. But yeah, I just kept pushing all the way to the line.
Once we all came off the bike sort of together, it was always going to be a close race. A bit disappointed to get 2nd, but glad that I made a really good race of it, I think.
I kind of wanted maybe a 1st or a 2nd, but to get on the podium, get some more good points, and hopefully that will sort of add up to a good overall series ranking.
Well, it certainly will. It's Liam Lloyd who leads, comfortably so. Match it with 2 second places with 180. Kieran John still third. Sam Wade moving up into 4th place with his 3rd place finish today. Megan McDonald, it's been a pretty easy day out for her, and on the back of a very, very good swim. What a shame that Hannah Monday is injured, because that would have been a very interesting battle between them. Firstly in the water, I suspect that McDonald might have won it on the run, but we will never know. Roxburgh, solid as ever. Couldn't do anything about McDonald, but she's got herself some good points.
I kept my head down and just kept going, didn't try and look behind till the run, and then I knew I had it by the turnaround point, so I just tried to relax all the way. But yeah, really happy with my race. All went to plan.
Winning all 3 stages and pushing Roxburgh down into 2nd.
It was really good. It was lovely to do a sprint race today, first time this season, but just to go fast, you know, and hope to recover tomorrow quite nicely.
Well, some stunning racing here in Bala, and there you see the standings. Marshall Kinsey at the top of the table on the fact that they have done all 3 races so far. Hannah Monday missing out due to injury today, still in 3rd, and Roxburgh's 2nd place, pushing her up into 4th. Over 500 athletes involved in the racing over the weekend. And of course the team competition, very, very important this year.
We've got lots of people here from Bala today supporting, and actually everyone's friendly, all the teams, they're all high-fiving.
The support the whole way around the course, you know, as soon as we got our Cardiff tri-kit on, come on Cardiff, right from beginning to end.
My hands are hurting from giving high fives to the crowd. I felt like a superstar.
Well, that is exactly how everyone should feel after going through the paces. The oldest competitor here today, 83. 83, fantastic. So the team standings, Pembrokeshire, who won the first event in Llanelli, are back on top, ahead of GOG, the local team who've done well today. They'll be happy with 2nd, and they'll challenge in the next round, which will be in Capel Curig, the Snowman Triathlon, and Celtic Tri still in the top 3. Next in the series, we head even further north, Snowdonia hosting the next round, the Snowman Triathlon. It's absolutely brutal, and a different course presents different challenges. The ability to climb is important. The nerve to descend at 100% could decide the race. The toughest triathlon in the UK awaits.